Hey everybody, this is MyCollectables coming back with another video, and this might be one of the most important videos I've ever made in regards to, helping you out and giving you great advice. I really do think that this is one of those videos, so please stick around. How can you become a whale right now? All right, because it is possible and it's right in front of your eyes. And in case you hadn't noticed, I am going to show you right now. It is the easiest thing you'll ever do. And we're going to talk a little bit about how people became whales in this app and how you could be on that same pathway yourself. But first, if you want to subscribe, please do. That would be great. You can also join my channel as a member, and then you get a free drop head NFT, and that supports the channel, and we have a lot of fun with that. And also, please like the video if you do like the advice I'm about to give, and also comment down below. I really want to know what you think about this. And then, you can also follow me on Instagram or Twitter. The links are in the description of the video. So anyway, let's get into it, everybody. How do you become a whale? Well, it's a very simple formula, all right? And the reason, what we have to do is go back in time a little bit, and we have to ask, what did the whales that are in the app do before? And, what did they do, and how can you do that today? That's really the question. If you ever wondered how some people became whales in this app in Veve, what they actually did, did they put a ton of money in? Did they are they rich? How did they become whales? Well, it's very simple, generally speaking. Let's get into it, okay? So whales basically back in the day, they stacked, okay? And they stacked grails and they stacked them early. Now, those days are gone, okay? Those days are long behind us. Marvel Comics 1 and all that kind of stuff. We'll talk about that in a second. But it is actually here again for you in this app, okay? This is the opportunity that I've been waiting for because I wasn't here around that time. And if you're watching this video and you're newer, you weren't here then either, right? And so how do we get to that level or somewhere close, or at least try to catch up a bit and try to compete at that level for the years down the road? Well, it's very simple what to do. You can do this right now, okay? So whales, like I said, they stacked early, they stacked Todd's, they stacked Marvel Comic 1, they stacked all sorts of stuff early when no one was here, and the prices were a lot cheaper then, and they were able to, and then now, over the past bunch of months, they've had tons of opportunities to sell things and really, really become quite wealthy in regards to gems in the app. Now, this isn't financial advice. This is just as a collector, right? And so how can you get to that level in the future? All right, let's check it out, okay? So what you got to do is do the same thing the whales did back then. And there's only one way to do that. You can't go after the big stuff that was already done and it's already become super valuable and has already been stacked and being sold back to you by people who were here at that time. They're selling it back to you at prices that are obviously what they're worth. And right now the prices are even a bit lower on those grails, but they're still making tons of gems off of those original purchases. So you got to focus on new grails. All right. You got to focus on stuff that's brand new, that stuff that, isn't worth a ton yet, but will be in the future. And you got to do the exact same thing that they did, all right? So Veve has new grails right now that can be stacked. And I'm going to show you the ones. And this is crazy because I wouldn't have made this video 2 months ago. I wouldn't have made this video, even a month ago. Okay, this is all recent stuff. And this is this opportunity that you can have, especially while the market is so low. You can make huge gains on this kind of thing in the future, in my opinion. And this is what I'm doing. So let me just show you, okay? Let me show you. So these are the grails that we can kind of say that, the whales stacked up on before. Amazing Spider-Man 1 and Journey into Mystery and all that, and Fantastic Four 1 and, Marvel Comics 1. And of course, these are just the comic book section, but there's all sorts of other collectibles too that you could throw into the same category. You could throw Todd's in there, Spider-Man first appearance, all sorts of stuff in the past that now is become legendary. And of course, the different variations and levels of these from the common all the way to the secret rares. I mean, all this kind of stuff. These are the ones that people stacked up upon and are still benefiting off of today. Now, what can you do that's similar to this in the app? Well, let's check it out right here. And I made some real world I mean, it's made some in-app comparisons for you just to show you kind of what I'm thinking, and let me know what you think about this. But this is the way I think, and this is what the opportunity I see. So we got Avengers 4 over here. That's brand new. It goes for about 9.5 gems. It was actually earlier about 7, 6, and now it's about 9.5. I compare it, somewhere around Fantastic Four 5. Now, Fantastic Four 5 is a better comic, but this is what I'm talking about, okay? So like when this Avengers comic has come out now, you can pick it up. You can pick about 10 of them for about 95 to 100 gems. The Fantastic Four one, even if it gets to that level, we're looking at about 400 gems for that one, right? If you get 10 of them, they're about 35 to 40 each. So that's where this one's going to go eventually, even if it's 30 to 35, because Fantastic Four 5 has already been way up there. It's already been 80, 90, 100. So, Avengers is just going to follow that. But right now, this is your chance. This is your chance to do the stacking that the whales did on Fantastic Four 5, for example. Okay, way back when it came out. Now, that one might not have even got the biggest stacks ever because people were in the app when that one came out. And people already knew about that comic, and so it was never really extremely cheap like Avengers 4 is. So it's an even better deal. And look down below, we got, Nick Fury's first appearance. It just came out a little while ago. This one's going for like 7 to 8 gems right now on the common, okay? And like, look at Miles Morales beside it. I'm comparing the two of them. Miles Morales is probably slightly better, but it also came out at a time when people already knew that it was going to be great. And so it started off higher than where this Nick Fury's already started out. And you can, it costs about 40 as well. So this one here, you can pick up 10 for like 80. This one, you had to pick up about 10 for about 4 to 300, right? Somewhere in that range. And same thing with those. But those are two new grails that are definitely big time comics that you can stack up big time now. Now, if you think about this, if you bought like a bunch of these comics and in like, a couple months from now, even 6 months from now, because you're going to have to wait a bit. This isn't going to be tomorrow, but this will set you up big time. If you stack these ones up, and other ones that are going to be coming in the future, and you jump on them, you are going to have a massive pool of gems in the future. When people go after these comics, when they're 25, 30, 50 even, it's going to be crazy. That's why I'm giving the kind of the comparison. Now, these aren't exact comparisons because they're always different, but you know what I'm saying, right? You know what I'm saying? So let's get on to the next page right here. This is even better. We got, the first appearance Thanos comic that came. It goes for about 4 to 5 gems. Compare it to like what Ghost Rider's doing at least 18, even that comparison, you're talking about 4 timesing your value right there. And that Ghost Rider comic was not one of the original grails that came out, so people already knew it was going to be great. That one went up to 35 to 40 on the common, right? Remember? So anyway, this one at 4 to 5 for Thanos is a joke, right? So you could stack up huge hordes of these right now. Same with Strange Tales. It's a bit higher. It came out like a month ago now. It's already reached that $18 level. It actually went up to like 25 or so, 25 to 30. So you can see that, the Thanos comic is going to be right behind it. And, you can compare that one too to the Miles Morales, right? With, Doctor Strange, right? I mean, it is just nuts. If you focus on the newer grails right now at these low prices and you stack up a bunch, you are going to have a tremendous amount of power in the future, with stacking. That's what the original, whales of the app have done. Some people have 100 Marvel Comics 1 and they picked them up for 3 and 4 or 5 gems. Remember, you hear about this, right? So like this comic is at 4 gems. I mean, it's not the same level as Marvel Comics 1, but think about this. It has way less editions and it is still first appearance of a huge character. Same with Strange Tales. So there's a whole lot of room for these to grow and it's going to take time, but this is your opportunity if you want to get to that level, right? Now, we can go to collectibles here. Let's just go to collectibles because it's not just comics, everybody. Now, look, these are direct comparisons, okay? So, like, don't roast me in the chat too much. But, like, Thor right here. Thor's, rare edition is only going for 22 gems. Now, could you imagine picking up a Spider-Man rare for 22 gems? It's now worth 325 each. Now, Spider-Man's probably arguably bigger than Thor, but this Thor rare has less editions than that Spider-Man, and it's going for 22. Even if this Thor goes to 50, you are laughing if you stacked it up big time, right? Even if it goes to 80, even if it goes to 100, do you think that this Thor FA rare can go to 100? I do. I mean, it's crazy, right? This is your chance. If you stacked up a bunch of these, you are just going to be laughing in the future when people want Thor, because guess what? His movie's coming and he's always going to be massive. He's going to be in the MCU for years to come. I mean, it's a joke, right? So that's why I compare it to the Spider-Man. If you could pick up the Spider-Man for 22 on the rare or 25? Would you? I think you probably would. And you can say the same thing down below for Darth Vader. He's going for about 115, so he's already kind of up there. You know, the common of Spider-Man is about 200 right now. And so, you know, but common Spider-Man's gone about 300 at least before, 400, 600, right? You think that Darth Vader's common, which has way less editions than the Spider-Man FA, is going to be sitting at 100 for very long? It's going to be up there just the same way, everybody, but it's going to take time. But you can stack it up if you have more gems. So these are ones that are like what I'm talking about, new grails that have come out. And there's going to be more that come out. You have to be selective. It's not everything. It's going to be some of these big ticket items that you're going to be able to do, right? So let's go on to the next screen right here. This is a video I just did the other day, a couple days ago, 10 things to stack, and it's pretty much this kind of list, everybody. A lot of the ones you saw in here are stuff like that. Now, I have these myself, okay? So I am trying to like give you advice. Now, you can take my advice if you want, or leave it, right? But I am not a whale from the past. I wasn't here. I got here in October, and I always wanted my chance to become, you know, to get to that level. And this is how you do it. You have to copy, and you have to do what the whales did before. And we probably always thought we never had a chance again. But this, I really feel, is your chance and my chance to really solidify myself. Because in 2 years from now, when I have, 50, Strange Tales #1s, and they're going for 75, 80, 100, 200, whatever, I am going to be really strong in the app, and I hope you come along with me as well on this journey, right? And who knows what we get next? If we get Thor's FA comic, which I think we probably will in the next few weeks, the Journey into Mystery with Thor as his first appearance, he's swinging his hammer around. If we get that one, that's another one to go hard on for sure. And who knows what else we get between now and then, but you don't have to go for every drop, okay? But these are ones, if you watch this video, go back, there's a few tips in there for you as well. So let me know what you think. This is how the whales did it. They stacked up early for super cheap, and it gave them tons and tons of leverage in the future. This is your chance to do it too, in my opinion. So let me know what you think. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next video, and happy collecting.